Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Widdly Diddly Way. In this episode we're going to be looking at a lick that I posted on the 21st of June. This one was on Father's Day, I believe, and it was basically a two-part lick. The first part was lots of sweepies, and the second part was all tapping. Before we go any further, please give this channel a like and a share. If you can, a comment. It'd be great to get the numbers up. Here's the lick played for you now. So it's a three-part lick, this one. The first half is all about the sweeps, the second half is all about the taps. Thinking about it in the key of E minor. The key of E minor is a good key, the relative minor of G. Everyone knows this key, and it's got some interesting shapes. So I'm using three basic shapes for the start of this sweeping pattern, and these are the three basic shapes. So the first one being, second one being, third one being, and we're basing it around E minor. So we're using notes of the diatonic E minor scale starting from G. So the actual notes of this are G, A, C, E, and G. Or 12th third string, 14th third string, 13th second string, 12th first string, 15 first string. That's our first shape. Now the only difference is we're doing a little trill in the middle here. We're doing a little trill from the 14 to the 15 to the 14 back to the 12 on the top string. Right, so here's how I'm using it in conjunction with my right hand for the start. So I'm picking up, then I'm picking down, 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 sweeping across the strings 3, 2, 1, then I'm picking up on the 14th fret, then I'm doing a trill where I'm going up to the 15th, back to the 14th, on the up pick. Now the trick in this one is if you pick again, down. Slightly different attack. The first one is a little bit more fluid, where you do a pull off and then only pick the second and third strings on the way down. So slowly that would be, you don't pick the top string on the way back down. I'm not sure which one sounds better. It's up to you which one you want to do really, but this is a pretty full-on technique. So, and if you pick it on the way down, it sounds a bit more aggressive. Right, so now we're moving up 2 frets. So on the third string we're moving up to 14 and we're repeating the pattern, except we're not putting in the little trill. So we're doing this idea. Up on the 14th, down on the 16th on the third string, down on the 15th on the second string, down on the 14th of the top string. Now we're adding one more note with an up pick. So down, up, down, 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 up. Now we're doing a pull off, and then up, up. Once again, it's up to you whether you want to pick that top string or not. So two different sounds. Here's the one with just a legato. And here's the one with the pick. So now I'm moving up to the 16th fret. Slightly different shape because we're staying diatonically within the E minor scale. So we've got this shape now. 16 on the third string, 19th on the third string, 17th on the second, 15th on the first string, 19th on the first string. Same picking pattern as the last one, so up, down, 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 up, pull off, up, up, or up, down, 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 up, down, up, up. So what we've got so far is, and now we're going to play So we're doing a little bit of string skipping, so it's down, up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down. And we're just moving straight back through the three shapes we've just used. And what we're doing is we're accenting the first note. And we repeat the whole phrase again. So that's basically the end of our sweep picking phrase. Now we move into the tapping phrase. Right, so we started here on the 15th fret with this shape. So we've got two intervals there, two whole tone intervals, 15, 17, 17, 19. And we're tapping on the 22nd. Now I just move everything down one fret. So now it's 14, 18, 21. Now I move it down one more fret. 13, up to 17, to 20. Now we move it down one more fret. 12th fret, 16th fret, 19th fret. And now we're going to slot back into our E minor by moving down to the 15th. So instead of a major third, we're now back to our minor third. And we're doing... So the only difference between all those three phrases is how we're starting it. The very first phrase, we hammer up onto it. So we do each position shift, we're using our middle finger again. So each time we shift, the very first note we're hitting is... Right, so I just got my fret wrap here to kill a bit of the noise. I use the fret wrap to kill a bit of the string noise. If I'm doing extended picking passages, you might see other guitarists do that. If it's a big long picking thing, you've got to use mostly your muting on your right hand to deaden the strings. But sometimes if you're using a bit of compression and gain, which I'm doing here, to get the sustain of the notes for your tapping, it can make the other strings a little bit noisy. So I use a fret wrap here, and usually down low, so it's not completely killing the rest of the strings, but it's just cleaning up some of that string noise. So we end up back down here. Now we're moving our tapping finger from the 19th down to the 17th. So that's the end of the sort of the first half of the tapping phrase. And then we're moving into the final section. And we're doing a cross string tapping passage, moving straight down the E minor pentatonic using box 1 and box 2. So this is how it goes slowly. So this is a technique you might see Greg Howe use, for instance. He's tapping the notes of the scale with his right hand while fretting the notes of the scale with his left hand. So he's moving through the scale using tapping. The tap is 17 to 15 twice, and then we're pulling off with our fretting hand from 15 to 12. So that's on the top string. Now we move down to our second string. We're using box 1 and box 2 of the minor pentatonic. So box 1 is this. So that's what we're going to be fretting with our left hand, and we're tapping these notes, which is the top notes of your second position of your minor pentatonic or your major pentatonic. So this is your second position. So I'm using two boxes together. It's a cool technique, it's a lot of fun. Tap, tap, pull off, tap, tap, pull off. Exactly the same frets on the second string. Right now we're staying within the minor pentatonic box, so we're moving everything down, tapping 16 to 14, and then pulling off to 12 on the third string. Then we're going down to the fourth string, and we're tapping on the 17th to the 14th, and then pulling off to the 12th. Exactly the same shape on the next string down, so on the fifth string it's tap, tap, 17 to 14, then pulling off to 12. The final one, we're basically repeating the top string because the top string and the bottom string are tuned to the same note 2 octaves apart. It's an E, so it's 17 to 15 twice, and then finishing on the 12. Very slowly, it's this. And then I'm playing a chord to finish off, to finish off the passage, put a full stop on it, and I'm playing an E minor add 11, or an E minor 11. The root note, the minor 7, the minor 3rd, and the perfect 4th together in a chord. You're just adding the 4th to a minor chord without adding the 5th in the chord. Okay, and then we're just bending from our 15th fret up to our 17th fret, the flat 7 up to the root to finish it off. And give it a little wiggle at the top. Give it a wiggle. And that finishes our phrase. So slowly that last tapping phrase is... So there you have it. We're looking at 2 pretty advanced techniques there. Some full-on sweeping and then some pretty intense tapping. Just slow it down, get the techniques right, make sure you play it nice and clean with just enough gain to give you the sustain without making it too messy and horrible. As always, please check out my Instagram where this is from. As I said, this was posted in June. I'm wearing a grey shirt, I think. You can also check out all my acoustic playing and everything else I do, all my gig dates on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel and my website. And as I said before, I have a podcast, a Performing Musicians podcast. I'm having the amazing Simon Gardner on this week, an Australian rock guitar icon, so that should be cool. So once again, yeah, check out all my stuff, come and hit me, give me some comments, and let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel with a comment or a message. Okay guys, have a great time. I'll see you next week.